There's a girl not going to state
Because of what?
because of a boy. Right
Really?
now,
Because
just
of
happened.
what?
There's a
Just
transgender
happened.
female in there that's winning?
Just went to state.
Really?
Just now.
In high school?
10 minutes ago.
Shut up. What
Took
what
a girl
event?
spot. 1,600 girls.
That is disgusting. I find that fucking offensive.
Which part? Which part's disgusting? The woman part?
It shouldn't even fucking matter, and it's none of your business what someone else does. That's offensive.
Watch the man do it. It's different.
Parents are finally fighting back against the trans insanity in their schools, and we're going to see how they're rising up and standing in the gap left by pathetic woke sports organizations. And the best part, parents are winning.
I don't know. I wasn't expecting that. I've dropped like 17 seconds on my season best in the past 2 weeks. So after last weekend, I didn't think I could run low fives again. I would just come here and try to break 5, and I'm just glad I finished it out.
Now, that was a trans high school runner in California, a biological male, boasting about a new personal best when competing against girls. Last week, the transgender runner Athena Ryan knocked female runner Adeline Johnson, the one giving the thumbs down there, back to 4th place in their qualifying race, effectively pushing the female athlete out of contention for a female state championship, a race she would have qualified for otherwise had she just been competing against her fellow biological female runners. But Athena Ryan wasn't the only biological male to dash the hopes of hard-working female athletes that day. Laura Lee Barrett also denied a biological female the chance to qualify for their state championships.
What does it mean to kind of realize, something everybody wants to do? Everybody's goal is always, if we get to the state finals, that would be great. What does that mean? Just to know that you're going to have that chance to, one, compete there, and another, who knows what happens? Who knows what happens?
I mean, it's definitely so cool. I never thought I'd get to this point. When I started a couple of years ago, I was like, 3 miles, I'm never going to run that. And now I'm getting to states, and it's kind of surreal looking back on it, and it's just so cool. And I'm kind of just very proud of myself for being able to work through it every day and get to this point.
So as you can see, the media and the athletic elite, they're all in on this. And that interviewer simply couldn't gush enough over their narcissistic virtue signaling inclusiveness with these trans athletes. But it looks like parents have had enough. It's now being reported that those 2 biological males have indeed chosen not to participate in the California State Preliminary Track and Field Championship. Their decision to quit came in the wake of a mounting backlash and massive protests from parents against their participation. So parents in California, again, which should be noted, is one of the bluest of blue states in the nation. It's a liberal la-la land that prides itself in these progressive social values. Even here in California, we're seeing parents pushing back against woke activism and, in effect, saying enough. We've had it. We've had it. This is unfair. And we're not going to stand by and watch all our daughters' hard work and sacrifice get stolen from them like this. Now, speaking of being unfair, you may have noticed that everyone's talking about how ChatGPT and artificial intelligence are going to change the world, but they're also being financed by the same big tech companies that censor search results. Only now they get to cut out a whole new layer from the information that you're allowed to see. None of us should trust them to give us balanced, truthful information. That's why we all need to be using ExpressVPN to add a layer of powerful protection between us and big tech. The ExpressVPN app hides your unique IP address on all your devices, which makes it much more difficult for big tech to identify who you are and match your online activity back to you. And it's so easy to use. All you got to do is just tap one button on your phone or computer to turn ExpressVPN on, and that's it. You're protected. But ExpressVPN doesn't just protect you from big tech. It also encrypts 100% of your online traffic, keeping you safe from hackers and prying eyes. And the best part is that one single ExpressVPN subscription covers up to 5 devices at the same time, so you can add your whole family in too. So stop letting big tech leech on your data freely. Click on that link below or go to expressvpn.com Turley right now and get 3 extra months absolutely free. But that's a limited time offer, so don't wait. Click on that link below right now. Now, if parents thought that they were going to get the support of sports organizations like the California Interscholastic Federation, or CIF, the governing body for high school sports in California that oversees this fiasco, they were in for a rather rude awakening. The CIF publicly denounced these parents and their supposedly discriminatory and harassing behavior. But you can be assured that these parents have basically told the CIF where they can stick their virtue signaling, and the parents are not alone. As it turns out, it's the CIF that's the odd man out here. The reality is that athletic organizations around the world have indeed begun banning biological males from competing against females. Most recently, the World Athletics Council, the governing body for international track and field competitions, they've announced that they have officially barred all transgender athletes from competing in women's sports competition. It's being widely reported that the council's policy, which went into effect this past April, deliberately prioritizes the fairness and integrity of female competition over transgender inclusion. And that's the key to what's happening here. Two liberal values, fairness and inclusion, are clashing against each other with this issue of trans athletes competing in female sports. To side on the side of inclusion robs competition of fairness. And when it comes to sports competition, if you don't have fairness, you've destroyed the whole point of the competition. It's not a competition anymore. It's a slaughter. It's a spectacle. Now, this decision comes on the heels of a comparable decision from the Swimming World's international governing body known as FINA, which stands for the International Swimming Federation. Some months back, they too decisively ruled that post-pubescent biological males would be banned without exception from competing in women's swimming competition. Now, this, of course, became a major issue here in the States with the advent of swimmer Leah Thomas. Thomas was widely touted by our fawning left-wing lamestream media as making history by becoming the first openly transgender athlete to win a Division I national championship. Thomas, who's a biological male, won that championship by beating Emma Wyant. Wyant was a silver medalist in the Tokyo Olympics. She posted some of the fastest times in collegiate sports history. She was all but guaranteed gold at the national championships, but had to resign herself to silver medal because the NCAA made the decision to allow Thomas, again a biological male, to compete in women's swimming, and just to really bring home the absurdity in that. While Wyant has consistently competed at the highest level among her fellow female swimmers, Leah Thomas was ranked 554th when competing against males. And so, because American institutions right now are so radically infested with the absurdities of ideological wokeness, the ultimate decision on what to do about transgender athletes fell onto the international organization, FINA. And they, of course, made the definitive judgment that any and all transgender athletes who have gone through puberty as males are officially banned from women's sports competition. So all of these parents in California are doing is they're basically stepping up and enforcing what international sports bodies have already decided. So kudos to these parents for stepping up and doing the job of what should have been enforced by California's sports organizations, who've instead been infested with the woke mind virus, the debilitating effects of ideological wokeness. Patriot parents are getting the job done and, in effect, saving women's sports. Hey, gang, I know what it's like to feel alone out there in these turbulent times, but I broke free. If you too have been looking for a community with like-minded patriots who are serious about resisting globalism, building a parallel economy, and having intelligent and deep fellowship on a regular basis, then you've come to the right place. In my Courageous Patriot Insiders community, we're building a close-knit movement of, by, and for patriots who are breaking free from the outrage and despair cycles of the mainstream media and taking on the fight against globalism. Every week, I deep dive into the content I can't share on big tech and give you the cliff notes on the truth of how patriots just like you are building up their communities, starting patriot businesses, and fighting the woke in both public and private. all with a few history and political lessons from yours truly, of course. If you want to stop feeling alone as a patriot and stand together with this fast-growing community, be sure to click on the link in the description below. Don't wait. Join me and my Patriot Coalition today, and let's get fighting.